This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers have to regroup in a hurry after a demoralizing loss Tuesday night at Oklahoma City. The Lakers have a highly emotional game tonight in Dallas. It's the first return to Dallas for Luka Doncic after he was traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis on February 1st. Doncic played his first 5.5 NBA seasons with Dallas. His tune-up last night for tonight's game ended early. Doncic was ejected with 7 minutes left in the third quarter after getting 2 technical fouls. Doncic had 23 points and 5 assists before he was tossed. The Lakers and Dallas tip off at 4:30 on ESPN. The Clippers extended their winning streak to 5 with a 122-117 win over San Antonio at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. 24 points and 20 rebounds for Ivica Zubac. The Clippers moved into a 4-way tie for 4th place in the Western Conference with Denver, Golden State, and Memphis. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, this is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and for over 20 years, Parkside Economic Development Corporation has served Leimert Park and surrounding communities, empowering tomorrow's leaders and changing lives. Parkside EDC has awarded over $400,000 in college scholarships while sharing economic principles of the Big Five of money with students and their families. Parkside EDC partners with organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Live from historic Leimert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad to see you and me back in stride again. Before we get started with today's show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley, and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley. By the way, should you miss any part of today's program or want to catch up on previous shows, you can always visit thetavissmileyshow.com. That's thetavissmileyshow.com, or wherever you get your podcast, and listen to the Tavis Smiley podcast version of this live program at your leisure. Another great show on tap for you today. In our second hour, 2 conversations. Up first, a dialogue with civil rights attorney and founder of the Racial Justice Network, Nikema Levy-Armstrong, about the state of Minnesota and other Democratic-led cities pushing back really hard on Donald Trump's threat to cut funding for U.S. schools over DE&I. The fight back is real. We'll talk about it at the top of Hour 2. On the backside of Hour 2, we'll talk with education professor at Cal State Long Beach, William James, about what Trump gutting the Department of Education means specifically What does this gutting mean specifically for students of color? We'll talk about that on the B side of hour 2. In our third hour.
Right now is a state dinner. There are 200 people down there, including the President of the United States. Did anything unusual happen? Other than my boss dying? Other than that, yes.
That's Cordelia Cup.
She is the best detective in the world.
Where's the body? Oh, I see feet. Mr. President, this house needs to be treated like a crime scene. There may be a murderer out there. Who's he?
Edwin Park, Special Agent, FBI. I'm really just here to help.
Can you hit one? That would help.
How do you want to do this?
I need to talk to everyone. Did you see Mr. Winter this evening?
I ran into him.
He said, I am going to be dead by the end of the night.
I mean, it's just something people say. I've never said that. Has anyone here ever said I'm going to be dead by the end of the night?
Yeah, the one time I went camping, I said that.
Tell me about AB Winter.
A lot of people in this house had issues with AB.
He could be very uncompromising.
No.
We were always super cool.
He was like a father to me.
I had no issues with A.B. Winter.
That's the truth.
Not even close.
Not even close to being close.
Close is over here, and close to being close is over here.
I got it.
If you want to understand the White House residents, you have to understand this. We are the house. All these other people, they are not. It's us versus them.
We need to tread carefully here. This is the White House.
Agent Park told me you have a suspect. You told me you had a suspect.
Yes. No. I'm trying to solve a murder, and I've got the FBI, the President of the United States, and Kylie Minogue breathing down my neck.
You've made this very dramatic.
Thank you.
Actress and author Uzo Aduba. Let me try it again. Uzo Aduba. I should know this by now. She's such a huge star these days. I'm going to get this right before she shows up. Uzo Aduba on her path to stardom. Her new book, The Road is Good, How Mother's Strength Became a Daughter's Purpose, and her new hit show on Netflix. You just heard the trailer for it. It's called The Residents, produced by Shonda Rhimes and Shondaland. We will talk with Uzo Aduba in our third hour, and a whole lot to talk about with her when she joins us then. But in this first hour today, Gavin Newsom is termed out, and there are a whole lot of folk who want his job. Indeed, a bunch of Democrats have already declared to run here in California, even as Kamala Harris has yet to make up her mind about her next move. We commenced today's show in conversation with Dr. Bruce Ware, the Green Party's candidate in California's gubernatorial race. You may recall he was the running mate for Jill Stein on the Green Party ticket for president and vice president of these United States. Now, he is the Green Party's candidate for governor here in California. I repeat once again, we're still waiting for the end of summer, she tells us, for Kamala Harris to make her decision, but that ain't stopping everybody else from getting in. I just saw Javier Becerra, a member of the Biden cabinet, a member of the of the Biden-Harris team. Javier Becerra has announced. The former mayor of L.A., Antonio Villaraigosa, is in it. A lot of big-name figures around the country, people know these names, are running for governor of the largest state in the union, California, and the Green Party candidate, Dr. Bruce Ware, is our guest in this hour for the hour. Before I commence my conversation with him, you have to hear this.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate. Congress takes over negotiating. Sell America fast because you're going to go busted.
Y'all didn't get that. This is Trump talking about the tariffs. I'm going to run this back one more again. Before I run back again, let me just tell you this right quick. China has hiked their tariffs on U.S. goods to 84%. Y'all didn't hear me. China has responded to Trump by hiking tariffs on U.S. goods by 84%. The EU That's Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Italy. The list goes on. The Netherlands, Poland. The list goes. Spain, Sweden. The EU has responded as well by raising their tariffs on U.S. goods. So China is up 84% on our goods. The EU is up significantly on our goods. But this is what the delusional Donald Trump is saying.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate. Congress takes over negotiating. Sell America fast because you're going to go busted.
If I said Bruce Ware, I was moving too fast. I know him well. It's Butch Ware, Dr. Butch Ware. Y'all forgive me for that. I done made 2 mistakes already. I can't get Uzo's name correct. I can't get Butch's name correct. Lord help me. I got to get on the good foot before I get this show started for the next 3 hours. When we come forward, Dr. Butch Ware is in studio. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Before the fire, Altadena was a real-life Wakanda. A thriving black oasis just 15 miles from downtown Los Angeles. 80% black residents were homeowners, building intergenerational wealth against the odds. It was a hub of black-owned businesses, churches, and cultural institutions. It stood as a symbol of black resilience and economic independence. Then, in a matter of hours, it was gone. The fire tore through homes, swallowed businesses, and left behind a painful void. But was it just an unstoppable act of nature, or was negligence involved? Did officials ignore early warning signs? Were the response efforts delayed or insufficient? What role, if any, did corporate or government failures play? Survivors are demanding answers. Don't miss our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall. The Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting, on Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center, 1081 North Fair Oaks in Pasadena. Join Dominic DePrima, Nee Cordelai Corte, James Farr, Tavis Smiley, and a panel of survivors, community leaders, and experts as we commemorate day 100 since the wildfires flared up, and we discuss where we go from here. It's KBLA's Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting Town Hall, Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center in Pasadena. Light refreshments to follow. Admission is free, but sign-up is required at our KBLA1580.com website. The first 100 attendees will receive a complimentary air purifier. This is a community call to action, brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Dr. Butch Ware, the gubernatorial candidate for the Green Party here in the state of California. Before I get into all that, my audience always has my back. I messed up Butch's name moments ago in case you've just tuned in. And somebody sent us a message that says, if I had a dime, every time a guest has called Tavis Travis, I'd be independently wealthy. So there you have it. It does happen. It's only a problem if you don't even know to correct it, like some of the guests. I digress. That's why I love my audience. They got my back.
Fair point. and for the record, I have not called you Travis.
Yes.
So I was bringing these in for you, and I was thinking, which one of these am I going to give to you?
Right.
You know, I got the beware, the wear for governor.
Right.
But after that, I think we're gonna go with this one.
If you're watching right now on
case.
YouTube, he brought two signs in. One just says, hold that up.
Yeah,
one just says beware. Get it? I like that. Beware. His name is Butch Ware. Beware. The second one in big bold green letters says Butch for California. So he's giving me the one that says Butch, so I don't ever mess his name up.
Here you are, sir.
I thank you, sir. I will take this. I'm going to sit it right here by my computer.
And it's always an honor and a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you.
It's an honor to have you, and I apologize for that. Let's make this do what it do. Yeah. So I want to start with this tariff stuff. That's why I played that Trump clip. You heard Trump say they're kissing his A. The data suggests something completely and entirely different.
100%.
He's going after them. They're raising their tariffs against us. It's going to be a trade war. We could be in a global recession. Here he is making jokes at the Republican Congressional Committee dinner last night that the world is calling the White House kissing his A. Here in California, where we sent Gavin Newsom, as I mentioned earlier, termed out. That's why you and others are running. Said he will seek trade deals that spare California from retaliatory tariffs. So California is a big enough state. We're bigger than 34, 35 countries. We're a huge...
fifth largest economy in the world.
There you go. So we are a huge economy. So Gavin Newsom is saying he's going to go his own way to make sure he negotiates trade deals that are good for California. But the whole country is going to be impacted by what Donald Trump is doing. What say you, given that you want to be governor of the largest state in the union?
So I'll tether the response to these two individuals together. This is perfect illustration of the performative politics of the Republicans and the Democrats. First, with respect to Trump, when he says that nobody negotiates the way that he does, all I can think about is Trump Steaks, Trump University, and the dozens of companies that Donald Trump has bankrupted.
The casinos.
Through his. How do you go broke running a casino, bro? Like.
They just mint money, right?
That's all they do is print money.
Yeah.
So just understand that America has been pulled in by one of the greatest cons in history, and this is just more fast talking from Donald Trump. Let's be clear, just really quickly on these tariffs. We are in the decline phase of American empire, and Trump's decision making and provoking a trade war is going to accelerate that decline. The most recent, I think it was Sachs that said that they've upped their likelihood, their estimation that there's a 45% likelihood of a recession coming in the next year. So he is speeding us headlong into that with this trade war and these inflammatory policies. The response from Newsom, similar performative politics. By what instrument would Newsom exempt Californians from the effects of counter tariffs? It's just something that he says as part of his plan to run for president in 2028.
Let me cut in right quick.
Go ahead.
To answer your question, for him, since he ain't here, Newsom has said that foreign government, he's calling on foreign governments
to make a carve out,
to make a carve out, to exclude California from any actions they take in response to Trump's tariffs. That's, you asked the question, not at all rhetorically, that would be his response.
Correct, but that is for the optics of making the claim, and that is always the case with Newsom. It is always about, how do I make the case that looks like I'm resisting, when in point of fact, the Newsom administration has been pliant and compliant in the face of all of Trump's orders. Newsom said that he would veto SB 1050. SB 1050 is a bill that was designed to keep California Department of Corrections from colluding with ICE, from turning people over to this Gestapo police force and providing information to them. And Newsom has said that he would veto that bill. This is not actual resistance. And this brings us to the fundamental problem with the Democrats. All of those Democrats that are going into this race, they have been part of the problem that brought us Trump in the first place. People like to forget that it was Hillary Clinton's 2016 Pied Piper strategy that gave us Trump as her number one option. And then it was corporate liberal media, MSNBC and CNN, that gave him free airtime around the clock. They created this monster. Then they dumped tens of millions of dollars into far-right, fascist, right-wing congressional candidates because they thought that they would be more competitive against extremist candidates. They've been throwing gasoline on this fire the whole time, and now they want to act like they're firefighters. And that's what, for me, the resistance to this actual opposition has to come from an independent, not a corporate-owned party. The way that I would say this, just to make this as clear as possible, is that these two parties essentially function. One steals, the other holds the bag. And the Democrats, the one thing that we know for sure, because listen, we don't know what the outcome of these tariffs is going to be. Democrats have used tariffs. The liberal media now complaining about tariffs when Biden had 100% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles is pure hypocrisy, right? Tariffs actually can be used for progressive purposes. They're complaining because it's Trump that is doing it. So
well, let me jump
in.
Go
ahead, yeah.
Not just that it's Trump that's doing it.
And that he's wild and inconsistent.
There you go. And when Biden did it, we didn't see this kind of retaliatory action on all U.S. goods. There is a difference there, Butch.
I would not disagree with that because he wasn't, capricious in the way that he executed them. Trump will, announce a tariff at 8 a.m. And, cancel it at noon and have it back on, by the evening. So all that's to say is that what the economists are saying is that no one knows what this kind of haphazard, inflammatory use of tariffs is actually going to produce. But what we do know is that the Trump regime is now escalating repression. They floated the other day deporting U.S. citizens to prisons in El Salvador, right? They are deporting permanent residents. And these aren't even deportations. These are kidnappings. These are extra legal. And they'll send people away. They sent a Maryland father into an El Salvador prison. And then Department of Justice says that they can't bring him back. So what we know is coming is a massive escalation in fascism. We don't know what the outcome of the tariffs is going to be. And the last thing that I'll say on that is the one thing that we know for sure about what's coming next is that Team Blue ain't going to save us. Yeah. They have been contributing to the escalation of this fascist overreach and have provided insufficient resistance. That popular definition of insanity is repeating the same actions and expecting different outcomes. It is crazy at this point in time to bet on Team Blue to provide the actual opposition.
Whether you agree or disagree, that's a cold line. The coldest line I've heard. I'm only 23 minutes into today's show, but I love it. Of these two parties, one steals, the other holds the bag. It's a great line. whether you agree or not, it is a great line. One steals, and the other party holds the bag. And to your point, we don't know what the outcome of these tariffs are going to be. We don't really know. Nobody knows. We ain't got a crystal ball.
Right.
But we got some pretty good evidence already.
Yes.
That these other countries are pushing back in the way they are. We're going to get hurt in this process. Donald Trump has us in a trade war.
Yes.
And there's going to be, if something doesn't happen to arrest it, a worldwide, a global recession. That's the guy. Let me just put a finer point on this.
Please.
This is the guy that people voted for because they thought he was better on the economy.
It's crazy.
Whatever you think of Kamala Harris, and we'll get to that Kamala in just a second. Butch, of course, was with Jill Stein running against Biden. Running against Harris and Walz. Initially Biden and Harris, then Harris and Walz. So he was on the campaign trail running against that team. But whatever you think of them, at the end of the day, again, Biden didn't have this kind of pushback on these tariffs, and Trump was elected. All the polling tells us that people thought he would be better on the economy than Kamala Harris. Look at what he is doing. I digress on that for now. Speaking of Kamala, this is weird because you don't typically ask one candidate about another candidate.
Sure.
I want to get to your race and why you're running in detail.
Yeah.
I promise we got the rest of the hour to do that.
No problem.
But Kamala's a big story here. And let me tell you two things about Kamala right now that disturb me. I don't like the way she's moving in two different ways, in one way, and then there's an impact of this. The first is, while she does have agency, let me be very clear. She has agency. It is her right. Mm-hmm. What I don't like is her saying she'll decide by the end of the summer whether to run. It freezes everybody else. Or at least they get out there running, trying to raise money, trying to get some traction, but everybody's waiting for whether or not she's going to get in the race. I think it is horribly unfair. This is just Tavis talking. It is horribly unfair for Kamala Harris to wait till the end of the summer. This is April. You're going to wait till the end of the summer to make a decision? That just puts too many people, too many politics, too much money. Everything is in abeyance. Everything is in a holding pattern. It's like trying to land a plane and you're caught in a holding pattern. This is just me. She's taking too long, and I don't like the impact it has for Democrats in the state of California to not really know what they're doing. Say nothing of the persons who are running. Now, the conventional wisdom is if she says she's going to run, all the Democrats are going to drop out. We shall see. I don't believe that. But if people start gaining traction between now and then, and they think they can beat Kamala, it's not a foregone conclusion that Kamala can win this race anyway, just because she's the former vice president. So I don't like her taking as long as she is to make that decision, number one. I think it is unfair. Although she has the right, it is her agency. I ain't mad at her. I just disagree with her, number one. But number two, this point I want to get to you, Butch Ware.
Yeah.
I could make the argument, I'm going to make it right now just to play devil's advocate to see how you want to respond to this. I can make the argument that in some ways Kamala Harris is the worst thing for California. Now, you've got your own political reasons, but I'm sure you agree with that assessment, but let me give you my assessment.
Yeah.
It's not even on the politics per se. Kamala may be the worst thing for California because we know what Donald Trump thinks of Kamala Harris. If Kamala ends up being the governor of California during the era of Trump 2.0, I can promise you that California ain't going to get no love, no support, no nothing from the Trump administration. And you just can't run a state these days without federal support in a variety of ways. Next time we have an earthquake or some wildfires, you think Donald Trump's going to come out here and stand next to and support Kamala Harris? Are you put down the crack pipe? So one could make the argument that of all the people running, including Butch Ware, that Kamala may be the worst person for California, given the repercussions that I can guarantee you we're going to feel if she is the governor. Now, having said that, it's all yours, Butch.
So I'll go in reverse order.
Okay.
On the last point, I don't disagree with you. The contempt that Donald Trump has for Kamala Harris is visible. I do not think that it would be a substantive factor in the way that the state of California is going to get treated, because the state of California is going to be targeted as an enemy regardless because of its traditional progressive leanings. The Trump administration is going to attempt to do everything that it can punitively to harm residents of the state of California, and only firm opposition to that. Like I've said this as governor of the state of California, I will not comply with any unconstitutional orders. Right? We actually need people that are going to stand up against the Gestapo and the heavy-handed non-constitutional tactics of this current administration. With respect to the point that preceded that about whether or not this is fair or unfair to the rest of the Democratic field, listen, if Kamala wants to kneecap the rest of the Democrats for me, more power to you, sis. Like, go ahead. Go ham, because there isn't an easier candidate for me to run against than Kamala Harris, because no one is more exposed on the fundamental dissatisfactions of progressive Californians than Kamala Harris is. This is a state that opposes genocide as an 80-20 matter. We have Alameda County that's divested from investment in the Zionist entity. We've got multiple municipalities and university campuses that have divested, and so Kamala is going to have that target directly on her back. Do I need to add that this is an agent of the carceral state, that this is somebody who is widely disliked throughout the African American community, especially by African American males, because of her propensity for locking brothers up? So she's going to be exposed. And just to be clear about this, they are going to fold. Katie Porter, right? Supposed progressive, although she's also one of those, I stand with Israel, we'll give them billions of dollars, and, we should also think about making war with Iran. She's thrown her hat into the ring, but she's already said that if Kamala were to join, that would likely clear the field. Ro Khanna has said that if Kamala joins, that's going to clear the field. So I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Hold that thought.
Yeah, please.
When we come forward, you tell me what's going on, number one, and hold that thought. You know where you are, right?
Absolutely.
And when we come forward, I want to press back on your notion that Kamala Harris is widely disliked in Black America. I think you went a little far on that one, Butch.
Okay.
But I'll give you a chance to explain why you feel that way.
Yep.
I think the votes in the last election say differently, but I'll give you a chance to explain yourself. Butch Ware is our guest in studio. He is the Green Party gubernatorial candidate for here in California. You're listening, and I'm glad about it, to him right now on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on where you buy.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The trial of Sean Grayson, a former Sangamon County, Illinois deputy, has been moved out of Sangamon County to Peoria due to concerns about potential bias. Grayson is charged with first-degree murder for the July 2024 shooting of Sonia Massey, a 36-year-old black woman. The next court date is set for April 23rd. Acting IRS Commissioner Melanie Krause is resigning after the agency agreed to share illegal immigrants' tax information with federal immigration agents. Henry Ford Health's zero suicide model, developed in 2001, has reduced suicide rates by up to 25% in states like California, Washington, and Michigan. The model is now being introduced across the U.S. and in over 25 countries. And R. Kelly has lost his appeal against his federal racketeering and sex trafficking convictions. However, the court did reduce his restitution payments to 2 victims, potentially lowering the amount he has to pay. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the title? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers have to regroup in a hurry after a demoralizing loss Tuesday night at Oklahoma City. The Lakers have a highly emotional game tonight in Dallas. It's the first return to Dallas for Luka Doncic after he was traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis on February 1st. Doncic played his first 5.5 NBA seasons with Dallas. His tune-up last night for tonight's game ended early. Doncic was ejected with 7 minutes left in the third quarter after getting 2 technical fouls. Doncic had 23 points and 5 assists before he was tossed. The Lakers and Dallas tip off at 4:30 on ESPN. The Clippers extended their winning streak to 5 with a 122-117 win over San Antonio at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. 24 points and 20 rebounds for Ivica Zubac. The Clippers moved into a 4-way tie for 4th place in the Western Conference with Denver, Golden State, and Memphis. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Dr. Butch Ware, Green Party gubernatorial candidate here in the state of California. And he and I were talking in the break there a moment ago. If you were listening earlier, you heard us talking about, I played a clip, in matter of fact, of Donald. And Miles, you got that clip still ready? Can you play it again? Yeah, I want to have Miles play this clip again in case you didn't hear at the top of the hour. It'll make the point much better that I want to make about the way the Democrats ought to be moving in this moment. So Donald Trump gave a speech last night at the Republican Congressional Committee dinner. So it's a room full of Republicans. He had a particular comment to make that just caused an eruption of laughter in the room. So listen to what Donald Trump said. Again, if you just tuned in, China has raised tariffs on us by 84%. The EU has raised tariffs on us, all those countries raising tariffs on our goods significantly. So the whole world is raising tariffs on us because Donald Trump raised tariffs on them. And here is what the delusional Donald Trump said last night.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir. And then I'll see some rebel Republican, some guy that wants to grandstand, say, I think that Congress should take over negotiations. Let me tell you, you don't negotiate like I negotiate. Congress takes over negotiating. Sell America fast because you're going to go busted.
Now, yeah, I just want to put a final point on this right quick. Mm-hmm. He's talking to a room full of congressional Republicans. He's telling them to their face, y'all can't negotiate anywhere near as good as I can. And what did you hear? Laughter and applause. They are laughing and applauding. Here's the point I made to Butch right quick and we'll move on. This is why Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Ken Martin at the DNC are just missing the moment. They're missing the moment. You don't wait 2 years from now to start running commercials. If Tavis Smiley were running the DNC, today you'd see a commercial in key states, in key districts all across the country. And the commercial would feature Donald Trump's comments from last night that the world is calling kissing my A. You would see screenshots of all the data of China and the EU and everybody else raising tariffs against us. You would see screenshots of news headlines that we are headed toward a trade war and a global recession, while Donald Trump says the world is kissing his A, and Republicans in Congress are laughing and applauding. That commercial starts running right now, not at midterms. Democrats don't know how to run no game. I'm done, Bruce Ware.
So let me just be.
I said Bruce again. Butch.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you were running those ads, it would be because you are actually trying to defeat the Republicans. The Democrats, as currently constituted, are more concerned with preserving relationships with their donors and the donor class and serving their corporations than they are with actually winning elections. All they had to do to win this last election was to stop killing kids, but they were getting paid by AIPAC, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and Boeing to kill kids, so they kept right on killing kids until they lost the election. This is not an actual opposition party. You have what is in the best interest of our community and the United States of America at heart. They have what is in the best interest of their wallets and their pocketbooks at heart. They are all on the payroll of AIPAC and J Street and all of these arms manufacturers, and they ain't playing to win. And with respect to Trump, we are in the strip it down and sell it for parts phase of the collapse of American
Another
empire.
great line from Butch Ware.
He's got a multi-billionaire in there taking your mama's Social Security check, coming for people's Medicaid, and getting massive handouts on our dime. This is the conclusion of that Reagan trickle-down economics, right, where you privatize everything. And the thing is what people don't know, it didn't. I'm a historian by training. It didn't used to be called trickle-down. They used to call it horse and sparrow. You feed a horse so much oats that his stomach can't digest it, and the sparrows feed off of the feces. Right? So it's whether your image is number one or number two, it's all a toilet, and we are on the receiving end of all of that. And the Democrat Party, as currently constituted, its neoliberal iteration is essentially just DEI Reaganomics. It's having a little more equity and inclusion in those structures of privatization, and so therefore they are not actually serious about fighting back.
I just think they're missing a moment. There's no way in the world I would not be on that with a commercial right now in key states, and again in these key congressional districts where they need to win enough seats to take back control of the House. They don't get it. They're just missing in this moment. And I'm just a radio talk show host. I know how to run a campaign better than they do.
What did our brother Ta-Nehisi Coates said? He said, if you cannot stand against genocide, then you cannot stand for democracy. You cannot stand against fascism. What we have seen is that this is a Democratic Party that has sold off its soul to the corporate wing of the party and is therefore incapable of meeting the moment. And that actually takes us back to where we left things with what's really going on with the Democrats in the state of California. Katie Porter, a progressive like Katie Porter, her job in this affair is to bring all of those disaffected progressives back into the conversation so that she can hand them off to Kamala at the end of the summer. That's why they've already telegraphed their shot. If Kamala enters the race, then she's going to likely clear the field.
So all these people are running in service to Kamala?
Not all of them.
Okay.
There are definitely more independent-minded Democrats in the field, certainly, but those that are likely to be most competitive are certainly part of an orchestrated campaign. This is their MO. That's why Bernie and AOC Pelosi are out, touring right now. Their job is to get the progressive wing back after there was something like 15 million normal Democratic voters that could not hold their nose and vote for a genocider. And if you want to know what this looks like, 2016, Bernie Sanders, right, energizes the left and then hands them off to Hillary. 2020 energizes the left, hands them off to Biden. This is their MO. The corporate wing of the party controls all of the decision making. If we want opposition, it cannot come from inside this party anymore.
You said earlier that Kamala is widely disliked in Black America. You specifically referenced Black men. Let me go out on a limb here. If she gets in the race, my prediction is that her support in the Black male category will not be as high in California as it was nationally. That's my view. I'm going to say it again. Going out on a limb. Her support amongst Black men in California, I don't believe will be as high as it was nationally because her record of locking up Black men is a topic that's been far more discussed here in California than it was during the campaign when she had an 8-week sprint, as it were, basically to the White House, 8, 12 weeks, whatever it was, to the White House. So that's my read of it. But You made the comment, so unpack it for me.
Oakland, does not have love for Kamala Harris. The kind of community that we're in right now, especially black men that have been targets of this Democrat carceral state. Joe Biden again, that 100-to-1 crack versus powder legislation. That was Democrats that did that. So we have been facing the brunt of the Kamala Harrises of the world for a long time, and I'm just going to put it in these terms. Malcolm said it in this way in 1964. He said, I'm going to go to every door in Harlem and we're going to knock on every door and we're going to get everybody registered, not as a Democrat or as a Republican, but as an independent. I'm running as a third party candidate. That is the equivalent of independent. And why did Malcolm say this? Also in 64, he said, you put them first and they put you last. And that makes you a chump. It makes you a political chump. We have been caping for these Democrats for 60 years. And what has it gotten us except increased misery, increased carcerality, locking more and more of us up? We get nothing for it. The average median income of a black family in the city of Boston is $8. It's $250,000 for a white family. It's $247,000 in Atlanta for a black family, $270,000 for a white family. We're standing as a Green Party candidate on reparations now. Gavin Newsom is blocking the creation of a California American Freedmen's Association, which would actually be the equivalent of a Freedmen Bureau. Those of us that are descended from the enslaved would actually be able to claim reparations through this mechanism, not based on race, but based on giving us what's our due.
Yeah. Here again, I wouldn't say Democrats have delivered nothing for us in 60 years. We got the Voting Rights Act, Butch. We got the Civil Rights Act. I could do this all day long.
Since LBJ, then. Fine.
Okay. All right. I just want to be clear.
We can shake hands on that one.
I just want some clarity there. It ain't like we ain't got nothing from them, but I don't think we disagree that much on the state of the Democratic Party right now. There's no question about that. As I said earlier, they're missing a moment when we come forward for the rest of this hour. Butch has been kind to address all these other issues. Now I want to let him have the rest of the time to tell us what he's going to do if he wins as governor of California. What is his agenda? You will hear Butch Ware, the Green Party's candidate for governor here in California, when we come forward.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You've lost so much weight. How'd you do it?
I got medical treatment for weight loss through Zelty and lost 50 pounds. I struggled for the longest time, but Zelty makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelty providers can prescribe FDA-approved weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others.
I've heard those medications can help you lose weight, but aren't they expensive?
Zelty can help get the medication covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
What if you don't have insurance?
No problem. Zelty may be able to help you get other GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% off the price of name brand medications.
I'm ready to start losing weight. How do I get started with Zelty?
Just text.
Text SUNNY to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy and Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SUNNY to 200-300. That's SUNNY to 200-300. SUNNY to 200-300.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
And the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley and Dr. Butcher Ware, who's the Green Party candidate for governor here in California. You know how this program works. I have 2 segments left. They are both 4 minutes each, a total of 8 minutes. I'm going to stand down and shut up. Hear your first 4 minutes. Why are you running?
I'm running to bring power back to the people in the state of California. Declaration of Independence doesn't say we the corporations. It says what?
We the people.
We the people, right?
We the people.
But the issue is with the current Democratic administration in this state, it's a who funds you runs you situation, and that they are run.
You kill me with these lines, man. I love it though. Who funds you runs you. That's the truth right there. Who funds you runs you.
So they are all in the pocket of these big corporations, and we need to restore power back to the people, not just black folk, but Latin folk, working white folks across the board. And everybody sees this as a fundamental issue, right? That these are 2 corporate-owned parties. So I'm going to tell you just some meat and potatoes, bread and butter type issues that we can take care of in aware administration in the state of California. The first, universal health care. Easiest thing in the world to pass in the state of California. And as a matter of fact, the Democrats passed it when Schwarzenegger was governor because they knew he would veto it. And every subsequent attempt has fallen a few votes short. The last time in 2022 was because the insurance industry laid $1 million on the Democrats and the votes disappeared overnight. We will get universal health care in the state of California, and it will be affordable because California taxpayers already foot 70% of the bill for the health care costs in this state. And think about this, 30 cents on every healthcare dollar goes to the insurance companies that serve as the middlemen. Literally, you remove that and make it single payer, and we already have what it takes to pay for universal healthcare in the state of California. And we will fix the homelessness crisis in the state of California. Listen, I've told this story before. My pops was a locksmith with a 6th grade education. He battled mental health problems, addiction. He was living on and off the streets of D.C. for a good part of his life. When I think about how to resolve homelessness, I'm thinking about how to help people like my father. It's not an abstract issue for me. And there's a direct correlation between these increasingly high rents, this price gouging in the rental market, and increased homelessness. So affordable housing, simple solutions. The city of Vienna in Europe is widely known for having beautiful, affordable housing market. The reason is that 43% of the units for rent in the city of Vienna are owned by the state. In other words, rather than using affordable housing funds as a development handout from Gavin Newsom to his cronies to build stuff, you have the state build affordable housing units, mixed income, not projects. And that is going to overall get the price of housing down across the board. Go ahead.
More of Butcher Ware's agenda as governor of California should he win as Green Party candidate when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Yep.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wager bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley, Dr. Butch Ware, Green Party candidate for governor here in California. One other quick comment, and the last 4.5 minutes belong to you. Tavis, I'm not convinced that as a DA, as Attorney General, Kamala Harris was a departure from what the criminal legal system is designed to do. Correct. It's going to do what it does because that's what it's designed to do, which is why I'm an abolitionist. That said, Johnny Cochran left the city attorney's office over his refusal to prosecute black men. He didn't like being in that situation. Take it. It's all yours.
And that's exactly it. It's the reason why I'm an abolitionist, and it's the reason why we need to seize freedom now. We need to seize liberation now. We need to close the generational wealth gap now. We are in need of an actual political revolution, and that is not going to come through these established parties. The late Kwame Ture, formerly Stokely Carmichael, he used to say, revolutionaries don't just mobilize around issues. Revolutionaries organize against systems. I'm going to repeat that. Revolutionaries don't just mobilize around issues. Revolutionaries organize against systems. What we saw was mobilizing around the issue of police brutality in the Floyd uprisings. But because there was no organization against the system, we saw police kill more people in every subsequent year during the Biden administration. We've seen mobilization around the issue of Palestinian liberation because those great black revolutionaries like Malcolm and James Baldwin and Kwame Ture told us that that was part of our struggle too. But because it was mobilization around the issue rather than organization against the system, genocide is still ongoing. Now we're seeing a police state rip our immigrant neighbors right out of the fold, whether they're Haitian or Venezuelan, and still protests, marches, no organization against the system. What I would add to what the great Kwame Ture said is that the role of a political party in a revolution is that it channels the people's energies from mobilization around issues into organizing to resist the system. And that's why my campaign has mutual aid, direct action, and electoral politics. We need fundamental transformation.
I'm wondering whether or not the time right now is as propitious as it ever has been for an independent, for a third party to win a major election in this country, and you know what I mean.
100%, because right now 63% of Americans in recent polling said that both of these parties do such a, quote, poor job. That's the words of the polling, that we need a third party. That's 53% for registered Democrats, 48% for registered Republicans, 70% of American independents. And what's going to happen in the state of California is that on June 2nd of 2026, we are going to bring together a coalition of those disaffected blue voters and red voters and all of those independent voters. And if I get to second and we have a toe-to-toe, me and whoever that Democratic candidate is for 5 months from June until November, that, my brother, will be the end of the duopoly, because I'm taking no prisoners.
I got 1 minute to go. I was reading an article last night preparing for this conversation, and the article was making the point that Democrats are seeing a growing number of young progressive challengers across the country. How do you read that?
It's because people understand that this Democrat Party does not serve the constituencies that it has claimed to serve. It has not protected the rights of trans folks. It hasn't protected the rights of our immigrant brothers and sisters, hasn't provided for Black empowerment and liberation. It is essentially Republican light. Right now, the current Democratic Party is so far to the right of Ronald Reagan that Reagan can't even see you from where you are. So real progressive politics and even radical politics are needed to get us out of this crisis.
There is, again, a growing number of young progressive candidates running for office all across the country. So the young people have had it with this moment. And I think Butch makes a powerful point there. Dr. Butch Ware is the Green Party gubernatorial candidate for California. How can people support your campaign? Read more about it?
Go to butchwareforgov.com. That's BUTCHWARE, the number 4GOV.com. There you'll find out about mutual aid, volunteering. It's not just a call for donations. We are building a movement to win.
I've been honored to have Butch Ware, the Green Party candidate for governor in California, in this studio. I'm sure we'll talk again between now and June 26th, as we will to all the major candidates running for governor in California, Kamala Harris included, if she gets in. Let me rephrase that, when she gets in.
Yeah.
Butch Ware, good to have you in studio.
Pleasure's mine, brother.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The trial of Sean Grayson, a former Sangamon County, Illinois deputy, has been moved out of Sangamon County to